I lie to myself and tell myself I'm a perfectionist when I'm not. I'm not a perfectionist. If I was a perfectionist, I'd be satisfied when I actually achieve something, but I'm not. When I achieve something that I've actually set out for, I still manage to convince myself that it's not enough. I'm not a perfectionist. Deep down within me, there's a part of me that doesn't believe that I can achieve what I set out to achieve. So what I do is I kind of half-heartedly do it 75%, because I don't know if I could really look myself in the mirror if I gave myself my all, gave something my all, gave everything that I had within me and I still didn't achieve it. Because what would that say about me? That the idea of who I thought I am, the mentality that I've created over all these years has been for what? Because I still can't do it. Oh, what are you doing here? Joking. Welcome, people. Welcome back to the podcast. It's your host, Shay Wigmaster, and I'm coming with episode 4 of your new favourite podcast, From Sideline to Sold Out. The podcast where we have honest conversations about growth, building something meaningful, and becoming the best version of yourself. I'm going to be real with you, babes, okay? I said that when I started this podcast, I'm going to be real, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be transparent. I spent 3 days trying to film this episode. I had a topic. I love the topic, but I just couldn't connect with it. And I felt like it would have been a good third episode topic, but I was just stuck. If I'm being honest, I was just stuck. I felt like I understood it conceptually, but because I wasn't feeling it in that moment, it was so hard for me to express. I feel like with my ADHD and stuff, I understand things on different levels. I feel like I understand things at face value, cool, but for me to really take it on and to be able to speak it back to you, it's difficult. It's so difficult for me to process things. And it's so frustrating because it's like, it feels like it's here in my brain and it feels like it's just behind the door. It feels like it's right at the tip of my tongue. I just cannot get it out. And it's so frustrating. I'm going to show you, I spent time, I wrote notes and notes and notes and can I even, notes and notes and notes and notes. I did it on my whiteboard. I'm even going to show you here. I did it on my whiteboard. I did everything. I broke it down for 2 days. My man even tried helping me. I just couldn't get it. And literally, I'm just going to keep it a buck. I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. Like right now in this moment, I feel disappointed in myself. Like I feel like internally I'm looking at myself like, really? You can't just have this one conversation with the girl them, with the butterfly them. You can't just have one conversation. Like, in everything you've achieved in life, this is where you stumble. Like, that is what I'm thinking to myself at this moment. And it's like, I feel like it stems from me being a perfectionist, if I'm being honest. I feel like I want to change this whole direction of this episode. Lord Jesus, I'm speaking to the people, them allow me to be able to express myself. Please speak through me. Holy Spirit, please guide my mouth, guide my lips to be able to speak the words that you want to say through me. I'm such a perfectionist, if I'm being honest, and I feel like it's something that I've kind of worn as a badge of honor throughout my life. But really, as I get older and I learn to psychoanalyze myself, and as I go back to therapy, I want to explore this as well. But I think it's an armor that I put on to just avoid admitting that I'm just scared. And I'm not sure exactly what I'm scared of. I don't know. I think it might be the fact that I was raised to always expect the best for myself and from others. And I feel like in that, I don't give myself grace. Because I have such high expectations for myself, I don't allow myself to have excuses that, nope, you should just do better. Nope. And I feel like I was raised like that. I was raised like there was no excuse. Just do better. That's it. And I feel like it's a good mentality to have to push you in life, but I feel like it makes me so incredibly strict on myself and on others. Like if someone disappoints me, I don't care. I don't care what your explanation is. You upset me. That's it. Do better. I feel like I'm such a perfectionist, and it's done well in my life, but it also internally leaves me with a feeling that I'm never quite good enough. Like no matter what I've done, it's never good enough, ever. Like no matter what I do, no matter what I achieve, I never feel content because I'm comparing myself to this fictional person. Not even a fictional person, that's the thing. I genuinely believe that all the standards I set for myself, I am that. I just need time to get there, do you know what I mean? Like even my body goals, my body goals is based on what I had before, just better. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like in life, a lot of times I've been scared to put my full effort into things because I don't know if I hope someone relates to me. I feel like when I set my standard as here, but I only put in about this much and I only get this much, I can fall back on the idea that, oh, well, I could have gotten this if I put more effort in. But we will never know. We will never know what I actually got. I will never know. But it's just that comfort that if I did put in more effort, I could have gotten. But really, it's just a cop-out. It's just a cop-out because really and truly, if I believed with myself that I could get 10, would I not aim for 10? Do you know what I mean? Why would I aim for 7 and then get 7 and be like, oh, I could have gotten a 10? It's a cop-out. And if I'm really being honest, guys, this therapy session we're having now, I'm literally in this moment, I'm just psychoanalyzing my process. I call myself a perfectionist because I have high expectations for myself, but is that really the case? Is it just a way of me to self-sabotage? I'm always hard on myself because no matter what, even if I achieve what I set out to achieve, like for example, if I say, oh, I want to get this many orders in a month and I get it, it never feels like enough. I always just feel like, okay, and you should have gotten that. Of course you can get that. Like no matter what, I'm always just hard on myself. No matter what, even if I set a goal for myself and I hit it, it's never enough. If I set a goal and I don't get it, it's never enough. Like why am I so hard on myself? I call it perfectionism, but it's not perfectionism. It's just another way for me to attack myself and be harsh on myself and for what I don't know. I believe that I love myself and I care about myself and I value myself, but do I? Do I love myself when no matter what I do, I never feel like it's enough? No matter what I do, I feel like I could have done better. No matter what I do, I feel disappointed in myself, that I could have done better, that I should have achieved more. Like no matter what I do, if I aim for here and I get here, instead of me saying to myself, well done, Shay, for getting here, I think, well, if you could have gotten here, you should have gotten here. No matter what I do, it's just never enough. And I don't know why. I don't know why. And I feel like it keeps me stagnant. I feel like it keeps a lot of people stagnant. I feel like there's so many things. There's so many feelings and emotions that we feel, that I feel, that I mask with the idea of perfectionism. I lie to myself and tell myself I'm a perfectionist when I'm not. I'm not a perfectionist. If I was a perfectionist, I'd be satisfied when I actually achieve something, but I'm not. When I achieve something that I've actually set out for, I still manage to convince myself that it's not enough. I'm not a perfectionist. Deep down within me, there's a part of me that doesn't believe that I can achieve what I set out to achieve. So what I do is I kind of half-heartedly do it 75%, because I don't know if I could really look myself in the mirror if I gave myself my all, gave something my all, gave everything that I had within me and I still didn't achieve it. Because what would that say about me? That the idea of who I thought I am, the person that I've created in my head, the lifestyle that I've created, the mentality that I've created, the character that I've built over all these years has been for what? Because I still can't do it. So I feel like I just hide under, oh, I just want it to be perfect, when really it's deeper than that. It's the fact that I think I can't achieve it. And I don't know where it came from, because I'm someone who goes after my goals. I'm someone who has people around me that supports me. Like I don't know where that comes from. Like if I aim for A and I get A, I don't celebrate. I think, why couldn't you have got an A star? I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe it comes from childhood. Maybe it comes from growing up when it just felt like my efforts were never good enough unless it was the top, you know? And I love my parents. They raised me and they were tough on me and my brother in terms of they wanted the best for us. But I feel like it stuck with me that no matter what I do, unless I've exhausted myself or I feel like I've achieved the top of the top and there's no more that I could have achieved in that category, it's not good enough. I don't know. And it's sad. It's sad, but it's honest. It is sad and it's honest. I think one way that perfectionism keeps me stagnant is the expectations. I definitely feel like I have high expectations, like I said, for myself, but I also feel like my family have high expectations for everyone. That's just how we were raised. I'm sorry. I'm a Jamaican family. My parents have come from nothing. They're like, yeah, we're going to make something of ourselves and our family. And they have. And they've raised me and my brother. But my brother's doing so well. My brother works in IT, senior solution architect, consultant in IT. Brother, if you're watching this, I love you. But your job has many different words and many different names and all this and but he's good at what he does. And he's on top of it. And he's always getting these awards and everything. And I just feel like I really hope that my brother feels proud of himself, because I feel like there are times in my life where I feel proud of myself, but there is a lot of times that I don't. I feel like I'm going to bring out the award again, guys. I'm going to bring it out. The reason I keep bringing out this award, and I keep talking about this award, I feel like because this is the first time in my life I genuinely felt proud of myself, like genuinely, not just like I understand conceptually that this is an achievement. Well done, Ashana. Like when I graduated, I was happy that I graduated because it's an achievement and I did it and I achieved it. But it didn't feel like an achievement. It just felt like, okay, it was what I was meant to do. Like, okay, I woke up in the morning, I had breakfast. It's like it was part of the plan. Like, of course I was gonna get it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and of course, this as well. Hey, my baby, my plaque. Of course. If you're a big mummy, hey, you'll get this plaque. By the grace of God, you'll get this plaque. But at the same time, I feel like when I set out, I didn't have any expectations. I just was just doing it. Like in my first videos, I was telling you guys that when I first started out doing, becoming an entrepreneur, it was never something planned. It just kind of happened and I just let it happen. And because of that, I didn't have any expectations. So anything that happens, I'm so incredibly grateful. Not that I'm not grateful for all my other achievements, but it just feels like, wow. Like I had no expectations on myself and everything's just like everything's great and I feel so connected to this business because I don't have any expectations for myself. I feel like, so one time I didn't measure myself up to a future expectation of myself. Like, even in my day-to-day and when I'm setting a goal for myself yearly, whatever, I compare myself to 30-year-old me. Like recently, me and Babe have been walking every day, every single day, and we've been loving it. And I'm like, okay, well done. I got back into fitness, I got into that. But then at the same time, future me is doing Pilates, future me has abs, future me eats well consistently all the time. So me walking feels like nothing. Like, I don't know if you guys ever feel like that. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this, but it's so hard. I find it so hard for me to celebrate my accomplishments when I'm comparing myself to a future version of myself that doesn't exist yet. I'm comparing myself, I'm 26, and everything that I do, everything that I achieve, I compare it to what I imagine I would have achieved by the age of 30. So everything else feels like I'm behind. It feels like I'm going slow. It feels like I'm being stagnant. And so I never feel like I've done enough. I never feel like what I've achieved is worth clapping about. What I achieve is worth even being proud of. I feel like it's just an expectation that I have of myself. Like, yeah, well, of course you achieved that because you're meant to achieve this in the future. So how else did you expect to get there? If you're meant to get to 3, of course you need to tick off 1 and 2. What else are you meant to do? I don't see it as an achievement. I just see it as an expectation. I have specific goals in mind for who I want to be and where I want to be in the future. So anytime that I achieve something en route to the goal, I cannot celebrate it. It feels like a waste of time because for me, it feels like, well, of course you should have achieved it. I'm meant to be here. I'm meant to be here by the time I'm 30. I'm 26 now, but by the time I'm 30, so in 4 years, I'm meant to achieve this. So of course I should have achieved this, if that makes sense. Like if I'm trying to have multiple houses and own a villa in the south of France by the time I'm 30, of course I should have moved out when I'm 25. Or did I just think I'm gonna wake up one day and have all these things? No. I have an expectation for myself, and because of that, I find it really hard to be proud of myself because on the way to becoming the version of myself I've imagined in my head and that I'm building myself to be, all these achievements just feel like well, what else was meant to happen? Even when I graduated uni, I wasn't even that gassed. My parents are so proud of me, but I was like, well, I was studying since the age of 5 years old. And then I went to university and I studied for 3 years and I graduated. What was meant to happen? Was I not meant to graduate? What? But I really wish I wasn't like this, if I'm being honest. And I don't know what it is within myself. When I go to therapy, I'm going to go to therapy and come back to you guys and tell you what I learned from myself about this. But if this was someone else in my life, like if my boyfriend or my mum or my dad or my brother or my brother's girlfriend said something or was this harsh on themselves, I'd be like, what? Love yourself. Love yourself. But it's not that I don't love myself. I think I love myself so much that I know I can achieve more, but I'm so harsh on myself. But in doing so, I neglect my emotions. In doing so, I don't allow myself comfort. In doing so, I don't allow myself grace. I'm just like, get on with it. Internally, I'm like, get on with it. Get going. You don't have time to celebrate. You've got Forbes 30 under 30 to accomplish. Like, it feels like, sometimes it feels like celebrating my wins are a waste of time because I have more wins to accomplish. I have more things to do. I have a goal in mind. I have a life that I want to live. I have dreams I want to achieve. And celebrating this small win on the way feels like a waste of time. What am I doing? Get to work. Well done, clap for me, 2 seconds, turn around, get back to work. That's all it is. And that's all it should be in my mind. But I don't know why I'm like that. Because anybody else in life, I celebrate everybody. I celebrate everybody. And I don't know if it's because maybe I celebrate people so much because I cannot celebrate myself. Like, I don't know. It feels like a waste of time. Even though I was talking about my plaque on my Snapchat, I spoke about it for like a day or two or whatever. But still, I feel like, okay, that's doing too much now. That's doing too much. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know why I feel like that. Why do I feel like I'm not allowed to achieve my goals? Because you know exactly what's going to happen. I know by the time I'm 30 and I've become the woman that I want to be, by the time that I've reached my goal, that will have now become my new standard and I won't celebrate it anyway. Because that's always how it happens. That's always how it happens. I wanted my apartment, got my apartment. Okay, what now? Like, honestly, it feels like, what now? I wanted this setup, I got it. Okay, what now? Now I'm thinking about the next thing. Now I'm thinking about a upgraded version of this space. I don't allow myself to really sit in and enjoy my accomplishments. And it makes it so, and I put so much pressure on myself. And I don't know why. I don't know why that I do that. I will come back to you when I have therapy and I will let you know. I feel like my guards are up with myself. I feel like I'm so guarded. I'm such a guarded person. I need therapy. I'm so guarded with myself even that I don't even want myself, like I don't even let myself enjoy things. Because I don't know why. I don't know why. I just don't let myself enjoy things. I don't let myself experience joy. I don't know why I do that to myself. I don't know. Maybe that underlying feeling that I had when I was depressed in uni, that joy isn't mine, I'm just borrowing joy, is still there. Because if I achieve something, I don't feel like I'm allowed to celebrate it for too long. I feel like I need to move on to the next thing. Maybe I feel like I have to rush through and get something else because I don't know if it will last. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. You guys are just here with me as I break down my thoughts and how perfectionism has kept me stagnant. I feel like I hide behind perfectionism as well because I'm scared of being embarrassed. I'm scared of putting my all into something and it doesn't turn out exactly how I want it to be, but I can mask it. And you know what's so bad? I feel like the embarrassment is internal. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but all these feelings, nobody put them on me, you know. Nobody put them on me. Is all these feelings that I feel within myself. Like, I feel like I'm kind of different people within myself. I feel like there's a part of me that's all giddy, like my inner child or whatever. And then there's the adult version of me. And then there's who I am now. And I feel like there's a part of me that always just feels embarrassed. Embarrassed if I don't get it perfect. You know, like messing up isn't for me. I'm not allowed to mess up. It has to be perfect. Always have to be put together. Always have to be this. That's what I'm known for. Do you know what I mean? Even when people come on now, they just think, oh, you're so put together. Like, or even on my socials, people always think that I have it all figured out. And I don't know why it come across that way, you know. I don't know why it come across that way. I feel like I'm not just winging life. I feel like everyone's kind of winging life to an extent. But at the same time, I don't have everything figured out. And I feel like I've always had that pressure. I've always had the pressure to be extraordinary. And that's just it. That is the baseline. In my family, there's nothing less than extraordinary. If you're not extraordinary, you're not the best of the best, then what is the point? If you're not going to do something and be the best at it for yourself and just in general, then you're wasting your time. And I feel like that's where my perfectionism kind of comes from. That if I am not the best at something, it's a waste of time doing it. If I don't feel the best, if I don't put my all into it, it is a waste of my time. I remember when I was in school and I used to get my grades and my report card, and I used to tell my mum, oh my gosh, mum, I got a B in this. And she'd always be like, why didn't you get an A? Okay, no problem. We'll just ignore the fact that I got a B, no problem. And I understand that when parents do that, when people do that, they're just pushing you for more. But I think little me internalized that as your efforts are not good enough unless it's perfect. Unless you make A, unless you do A star, unless you get 100%, there's no point. There's no point of even trying because you won't be applauded for it. And even when you are applauded for it, well done. Next thing. Do you know what I mean? Even when, like, I show my mum this podcast, Mum, I love you so much. Even when I showed my mum this podcast, she loved it. She was gassing me up all this, and then she was like, okay, cool, but the next thing we can do is we can do this, we could do a book, we could do that. And I'm just like, can we just breathe? And just soak in the fact that I just did a podcast, I did everything, I edited it myself. Me and my man did the background, the whole concept, everything. Like, I thought about it and I turned it over so quick. Like, it felt like my accomplishments and my achievements were not valued unless it was perfect. I internalized that myself, where it's like I feel embarrassed of my own efforts if they're not perfect. If I don't do it and it's not the best that I can do, and I haven't exhausted myself and I haven't overwhelmed myself to do it, I do not feel like I've accomplished something. Like, I remember when I used to do like back to back shifts, and I used to work 3 a.m, 6 a.m, 9 a.m, 12 p.m, 3 p.m, 6 p.m, midnight. I used to work around the clock, literally. If you know, you know. And those were the days I felt most accomplished. I didn't feel accomplished when I had 2-3 clients. Like, that was cute, that was great, but I could do more. And I just feel like if I can do more, I never feel like I've done enough. You know what I mean? Like, logically, of course, that makes sense. But sometimes just be content. Sometimes just be content in your efforts. Know that you did your best, and that's okay. I feel like I've set such a standard for myself where it's like, this is what in my head I believe that I can do. And if I can't achieve it, it's not good enough. I feel like that feeling of not being good enough is what can self-sabotage me, or even self-sabotage you. But I feel like feeling like your efforts won't matter regardless is a good way to self-sabotage. A trap that a lot of people find themselves in, me included, is that if your efforts don't produce a perfect result, then trying is pointless. Because what's the point? If it's not going to come out perfect exactly how I imagined, what's the point? I'm wasting my time, I'm wasting your time, everybody's time is wasted, and I'll give up. That is self-sabotage. I think deep down within yourself, you believe that you're not going to achieve the goals that you've set out for yourself. So instead, you just pretend or hide it or pretty it up by saying you're perfectionist. No, you're scared of failure. You're scared that the belief system that you have within yourself, the person that you thought you were, what you can achieve, you believe that you're wrong about yourself. And so instead, you don't even try, because it's easier to tell yourself, it's easier to say, oh, I could have achieved this, I could have achieved that, than actually trying. Because if you try and you fail, or you try and it's not exactly the way that you envisioned it, it will crumble your belief system. The belief system that you had within yourself, that I can achieve this, if you try and you don't achieve it, what does that make you? People love to say they're perfectionists and wear it as a badge of honor. I was one of them. Up until the beginning of this podcast, I was one of them. I used to hold it on my head like, yeah, I'm a perfectionist, I love things to be perfect. But really, what does that tell you about yourself? Really, when I say that I'm a perfectionist now, it tells me that I'm scared of failure, not from other people. I'm scared to admit to myself that I'm not perfect. I'm scared that the person that I've created to be, that she might have flaws, that I'm not perfect. I think I've held the identity that I'm someone that can achieve everything that I set my mind to. And if I put my all into something and I don't achieve it, it breaks that perception that I have of myself. If I'm somebody that believes that I genuinely can do everything I put my mind to, and then I put my mind to something and I don't, what does that say? It breaks down everything. It makes me feel like who I think I am is a lie. Like, and the thing is, it's not that serious. I feel like I always feel so much pressure to be perfect in every area of my life, in terms of friendships, relationships, family, everything. I feel like I put such a weight on my head that everything that I do needs to be the best. Even my hobbies. I was learning to cook. I say was learning because I'm amazing. I can't lie to you. Even this, I'm telling you my hobby. And I see it as another challenge to prove to myself how amazing I am. Like, why do I need to do that? I feel like I constantly need to prove to myself how good I am at stuff and how great I am. And when I achieve something, it's never enough. It's never enough because I could have done better. The fact that I achieved this, it feels like I could have done more. In my head, deep down, if I achieved it, it can't have been that hard. And I don't know why that is. I felt comfort in self-sabotage. For me, self-sabotaging is easy. Looking at myself, setting expectations for myself, and then saying, I don't know if I can reach that, so I won't even try. Being a perfectionist has been such an easy way for me to cop out of things. I feel like I've literally self-sabotaged myself, and it feels so comforting. I know it sounds mad to say, but instead of being vulnerable with myself, because that's what it feels like. It feels vulnerable. It feels exposing to have a certain standard that I set for myself and being honest with myself about it and actually trying to reach it. Instead of doing that and wholeheartedly going for it, it feels easier to set my expectations higher, not even try and reach it, fail, and then just sit in that. I don't know if that's mad. I don't know if that's mad to somebody. I feel like it's so exposing. It feels so naked, and it feels so exposing and naked to tell yourself that you want something, aim for it, go for it. Because what if you fail? What does that mean about you? If I want something, put my all into it and fail, what does that mean about me? Does that mean that everything that I thought I could achieve in life, I can't achieve it? If I have a standard for myself and I don't achieve that standard, does that mean who I thought I would is a lie? If I walk around thinking, I can do all things and I can't do it, what does that mean? So instead, I'll protect that part of my identity by not trying my best, because then if I fail, if I don't get it, at least I can say, I didn't try. I have the security of I didn't try my all, because then I can tell myself, but if you did try it all, you would have gotten it. Do you know what I mean? I've done that my whole life in school. I've done it my whole life, where I've half-heartedly done things because I don't want the reality to be, if I actually try and I still don't get it, if I put my all into it and I don't get it, then what? Who am I? So instead, I just don't try. And I feel like the one thing I really tried was my businesses. And that's why I hold them so dearly. Even with this podcast, I spent 2 days. 2 days, 2 days making the script, making the format, making the structure, and I still couldn't do it. So what does that mean? Does that mean I can't be a podcaster? I can't lie, that's what I thought. I can't lie for a split second, that's what I thought. Thank God I've achieved things in life that I don't have such definitive statements about myself, because at no point did I think I'm going to give up, I'm going to stop podcasting. I feel like back in the day, if this was the first time that I'd stepped out and really tried something, I would have thought that. I definitely would have thought that. I feel like even in uni, when I wasn't really understanding things and things were hard for me, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. My mum was like, no, go. And it's literally God and my mum that I finished university. I was just the vessel. But my mum was pouring into me. Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit was pouring into me. I don't even know. My mum was up all night with me while I was doing assignments. Like, she wasn't there physically next to me, but she was up around the house and she was sat there. Do you know what I mean? And just her presence alone made me feel supported. I feel like that's also a bit of pressure. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that my parents and the people around me want the best for me, but the fact that they also have high expectations is hard. Boy, everyone just expects something from me, man. Why? Sometimes I believe life would have been easier if I was a dance. I definitely feel like being a hairstylist, it was easier because no one expected me to do it. No one expected anything from me. Even in terms of my e-commerce business, the Pretty Mob UK, where we sold products and lace glue and wigs and all of the sorts, still, I was doing hair, but no one really expected anything. Do you know what I mean? But now that I've been a successful hairstylist, and let me repeat that again, I'm a successful entrepreneur. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, people expect something from me with this podcast. And the thing is, it's not even what other people expect from me. I expect something for myself, because there's no way I can do those things and I cannot do a podcast. Are you crazy? But you see how I'm even talking to myself? Like, It's mad. I think it's all about perspective. That's what my mum would say. It's all about perspective. Being a perfectionist can fuel you and it can keep you going as long as you don't internalize it too deeply and you don't make it the be all end all where you. My man always says, aim for the moon, shoot for the stars. My dad always says, don't aim for the moon, just keep aiming and don't stop. My dad said, don't aim, keep going, don't stop. But my man said, if you want to get to the stars, aim for the moon, because even if you don't get to the moon, you'll still be among the stars. Like he'll say, if you want to get a B, aim for an A. Aim for A. My parents will be like, aim for A star. Don't stop aiming. Keep going. But what I love about my boyfriend is that he's delusional in the sense that he keeps aiming, he keeps going, he keeps doing it, but he's also realistic in the sense that I believe that he knows his capabilities and he knows his strengths and he works off it. I believe that I can do everything, and I believe he can do that too. But I think he's also realistic that there's just some things you won't be able to do. Do you know what I mean? I've never done pottery a day in my life. I genuinely believe that I can pick up pottery and ace it and master it like that. I'd be like, I genuinely believe if I dedicated myself to anything, I could do it. And I feel like that's the mentality that my parents instilled in me. But then it gives me such incredible pressure because I believe that I should be an expert and I should be the best at everything. And if I don't, I feel like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I've let myself down because that's the expectation. And then I feel embarrassed within myself because you can't just do a small thing like this. Everything feels like a small thing because every achievement, everything in my head feels like a small thing because I believe I should be able to do everything. So everything feels small because of course I can do that. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Do you know what I mean? But I'm tired of it, if I'm being honest. And I feel like the fact that you're on here too just shows me that you're tired of being a perfectionist as well. I feel like we're all tired. We're all tired. I feel like I'm tired of the pressure I keep putting on myself to be more, to do more. Sometimes I just want to exist. I just want to do something and consider it good enough because I tried. And I feel like moving forward, I want to be nicer to myself. 100% I want to be nice to myself. I'm so hard on myself. I'm so incredibly hard on myself, and I set these expectations for myself that nobody set for me, that nobody even expects for me. It's just myself. I just believe so much, so deeply that I can achieve anything. And so if I don't, if I'm even off by this much, I feel like I failed. I feel like I'm a failure in life. I disregard everything else I've done in my life. And in that moment, because I feel like I'm a failure, I failed in life. And I'm just tired of it. I feel like I want to soak up and submerge myself in my achievements and my accomplishments and be proud of myself for every single little thing. I feel like I just want to be kind to myself. So the ways in which I'm going to stop letting perfectionism keep me stagnant. So if you're like me and you allow perfectionism to keep you stagnant, or you realize that perfectionism kept you stagnant, here are some things that I want you to do. Do it with me. Let's do it together. Let's work together, okay? Accountability partner. Yes? Perfect. Love that. Period. The first thing is we are going to surround ourselves with people who don't judge us for trying but applaud our efforts and encourage us to keep going. I feel like when I go online or when I hear people say that they want to do things, they fear what their friends might think. Not necessarily just strangers, but specifically people talk about their friends or their circle. Like, why would you want to have people around you that make fun of you for trying? Like, just think about that logically. Let's just think about it. Let's just think about it logically. Why would you want to be friends with somebody who sees you trying and makes fun of you? Does that seem like somebody that you could be safe with? Does that seem like someone who loves you? Does that seem like someone who cares about you? Does that seem like someone who wants your best interest? So why they in your life? Okay, I thought so. Get rid. That's one. Two, we're going to not put pressure on ourselves. Okay? I'm not saying that we're not going to push ourselves, but we're not going to put this idea of perfectionism on ourselves, okay? And I know that we all want to, I know that we all want to be perfect, okay? I get it. But there's literally nothing and no one in this world that is perfect apart from our Lord Jesus Christ. My boyfriend said to me the other day, he let me know the fact that things aren't perfect is what makes them beautiful. Like, my boyfriend has made me feel so safe that I don't have to be perfect. Like, the fact that I have my quirks and all that, he makes me feel, whether or not this is how he feels, he makes me feel like That's what he loves about me. The fact that I'm not perfect, the fact that I might not have my wig on 24/7, the fact that he gets to see me at my raw state, my undefined state. Like, he loves seeing my videos before they go up. He loves seeing like the little mistakes I make. And I believe that because to him, seeing that human side of someone and not expecting perfection from them, it allows you to feel comfortable to be yourself. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like because I'm just the way I am, flaws and all, I'm just the way I am. And I feel like my man, he can't get enough of me. Do you know what I mean? From our first date, he ain't left me alone every single day. Not one day gone past. Ain't left me alone. And I feel like in my brain, in my head, I feel like I'm all over the place, but I feel like he'll love it. I feel like he loves it because I don't give off the idea that I'm so perfect. I think he even said to me that he loves that I'm just real. Like, I'm just real. And I feel like when you're around that, when you're around people who allow you to be real, to be yourself, to be unguarded, that you don't have to be perfect, it makes you feel better about yourself as well, because it makes you feel like you don't always have to be on tip-top shit. You can just be yourself, that they're not judging you. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like I create that space for him, and you need to be around people who create that space for you, because they will help you grow. Because if you're pretending or you're masking, let's not say pretending, because I don't feel like I pretend in anything. I just feel like I mask my imperfections, because I don't know, I feel like I've always just, my identity has been in being put together. So if I say that, oh, I'm not perfect, then what does that mean about me? Who am I? But I'm more than just being perfect. My quirks is what makes me me. Like, even me being so chatty, that was seen as a flaw, but now it's my career. Now it's what people connect with me for, and it's all about perspective. That's what my man says all the time. It's all about perspective, and I want to keep aiming for the stars, or aiming for the moon, or aiming for whatever, but at the same time, on my journey to getting there, I need to give myself grace. Give myself grace. If I say I'm going to run a marathon, I don't just celebrate when I get to the end of the marathon. I celebrate on each mile. I celebrate on each step, because even that encouragement will even help me get there. Because you can't bully your way into success. I don't know anybody that's gotten to success and sustained it by being horrible to themselves. I don't think it works. I don't think it works that way. I think for a short time, yes, but not always. And I think I've been let me give myself a hug and a kiss. I've been so incredibly hard on myself, and I'm just tired of that now. I just want to be a safe space for myself. The safe space that I try to give others, I want that to be myself. I want to be able to come within myself and be like, okay, cool. I wanted to do that. It didn't come out the best, but at least I tried and I had fun doing it. And that's all that matters. I need to fall in love with the process, because I have done that with so many things. Fall in love with just being consistent. Fall in love with the little milestones I'll give myself, you know? Instead of saying, oh, I'll only celebrate when I get to 10,000 subscribers. I will celebrate when I get 10 more subscribers. If I get 10 more subscribers from this video, I'll be happy with that. I'll be content. But for me, because I know one day I'll be getting 1 million views per video. Lord Jesus, I pray, from my lips to your ears, make it be done. I'll write it down, Lord Jesus. May your will be done when it comes to the podcast. Even though I know that I'm going to get 1 million views per episode as a standard on a bad day, I should still celebrate when I get 1 view, because that's one person. And I can have none. There's some people who get nothing. And I feel like sometimes we should compare ourselves. I know we say don't compare ourselves to other people, but my boyfriend even says it. He's like, people have it worse. I feel like we should compare ourselves if we're going to be grateful, and not compare ourselves to bring ourselves down, but lift ourselves up and be like, there's some people who haven't even started, that haven't even taken the courage, that haven't even gotten 1 subscriber, that haven't done anything with their lives, that haven't done anything, that are still in their bed. There are people who haven't done that, but I have this. You might be complaining about a situation in life, but there's always somebody who has it worse. I think I've gotten so comfortable. With my life that I forget that other people would love the life that I live. In fact, I wanted the life that I live. I have so much freedom. I'm so financially free and so time free. Like, I can do anything that I want. bogged down by things. I'm not stressed. Of course, things like stress me here and there, but in terms of joy and happiness, I have that. I've got love in my life. I've got familial love. I've got my family who love me. I've got my boyfriend who loves me. I've got my people who support me that love me. I've got so much love. I've got Jesus Christ who loves me. I've got so much love. A lot of people don't even have that. A lot of people don't have family. And I need to focus on what I have achieved and what I do have as opposed to what I haven't, or what I will do in the future. And the last thing I want you babes to do with me, keep each other accountable, like I said, on our journey to stopping perfectionism from making us stagnant, is truly believing that our efforts are valid and are worthy, even if they don't come out with the exact result that you wanted. If you're aiming for A and you get a B, they're still worthy. It's still valid. It's still okay. It's still celebratory worthy. It doesn't matter. The effort, the point is that you tried. Some people don't try, and you did. You tried, and that alone is worthy enough for celebration. Wow guys, that was another episode of your new favorite podcast, From Sidelines to Sold Out. In this episode, we did a quick switch. We were going to talk about something else, but we ended up talking about how perfectionism can make you stagnant. I feel like I needed that. I feel like I said, there's like a mini therapy session, these episodes for me, guys. And I feel like I needed that. I needed to express myself. I feel like that's definitely the route that I want to speak to you guys on. Like, I feel like I can connect with you guys more and really deliver the message properly when I'm feeling the emotion that I'm feeling right now, real time. Right now I'm feeling like perfectionism was going to make me stagnant, because I was going to be like, no. I even told my man, I'm like, no, you know what? I'm going to give myself till Wednesday to upload it. Like I gave myself an excuse. I'm self-sabotaging. No, I just pivot. And I could be bogging myself down and disappointed in myself that I made a plan and it didn't work. And I failed in that regard. But I'm proud of myself because I kept going. A lot of people would have stopped, would have given up, would have stopped. I was beating myself up because I'm like 3 episodes in and you're already struggling, girl. Come on. Get it together. But like I said, I'm going to stop being hard on myself because I have made it to 3 episodes consistently, back to back, no gaps, every Sunday, back to back. Like, yeah, I'm proud of myself. And although it might not have been exactly what I wanted, I was consistent. And that's what matters. And you know what? I feel proud of this episode. This episode, it was impromptu. It wasn't as thought out as the last 2 episodes. This one that you're watching that I just did for you, babes, is freestyled. It was not fully thought out. I didn't think about it for days. I didn't watch other podcasts and read things to get a full understanding. It's just raw. And you know what? God works in mysterious ways, because I feel like that is my superpower when it comes to the podcast, in the podcast game. Being me and just being raw, just picking up the camera, saying my thoughts, saying my beliefs, my understanding, and that is it. That's enough. It doesn't need to be so perfect. I did it, and that is enough. And I tried my best with what I could, and that is enough. You know? And I just want to thank you guys so much, like I said in the beginning, for giving me a space where I feel like I can be so open and so raw and feel so safe. And I hope that in my mess of today, the last couple of days that I felt filming, I hope out of it, at least one of you babes can feel seen. One of you babes can take away from it that you don't need to be a perfectionist for your efforts to be valid. Woo! Guys, what a video. Thank you guys so much for watching again. You know I can improvise. Look at me. Why? I'm gonna have to become an improv actor. Join an improv group as one of my side projects later on down the line, now that I know I can improvise so quickly and efficiently. If you feel like I spoke to you babes specifically, and you feel like you're also tired with me, and you feel like you just want your efforts to be valid within yourself, you want to validate your own efforts, you don't have to be perfect all the time, you just want to be you, then drop me a comment and just let me know that you feel seen. Do you know what I mean? Let's see each other. But like I said, thank you guys so much for being with me on this journey, on this third episode of From Sideline to Sold Out, your new favorite podcast, where we have honest conversations about growth, building something meaningful, and becoming the best version of yourself. A little recap on today. Today was episode 3, and we spoke about how being a perfectionist is actually keeping you stagnant. We spoke about embarrassment, we spoke about self-sabotage, we spoke about embarrassment, we spoke about expectations that we have on ourselves and other people have on us, and we also spoke about solutions that can help us not be such a perfectionist, still push ourselves, but not to be so hard on ourselves. If anything we spoke about in today's video resonated with you, I would love for you to stick around, because these are the raw, honest conversations we're going to have around here. I would love for you to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Let me know what part of the video you connected with most. And on that note, I love you and I'll leave you, and I'll see you in the next video. Same time, same place, next week. Thank you guys for sticking around with me on the journey. Love you. Bye.